Limitless.io.
What's up, tube viewers? My name is Pax, and I'm back to react. So if you're seeing my face, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to go over here to the Between the Lines podcast, and we're going to see a young man who is doing life in the California prison system. Now, this is not a place where any of us want to end up, but I think that his story is unique in some regards, and also that it seems to fit into the narrative that, it's being said that, men that are raised in a single parent household, particularly by women, mothers, grandmothers, sisters, aunts, and they grow up to become monsters. So I'm not necessarily saying that that's the case with this young man, but we're going to go over here and check out what the content has to say. And of course, I'm going to leave my colorful commentary along the way. If this is your first time to the channel, can I please get you to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let YouTube know that you like my content and you want to keep me in the algorithm. And I appreciate you. With no further ado, let's go over here and check out this content and see what is going on.
Kill as many people as I could that were rival gang members in order to send a message.
Ooh.
That's where my mind was.
Welcome back to another episode of Between the Lines. I am your host, Ivana Rojas, and
Hey,
today
pretty
we are
thing.
between the lines with
Ruel Hobart.
Ruel Hobart. How are you? Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Well, we just want to get to know you and where you're from.
I was born in Compton, California, but I was raised in Long Beach
Okay,
on the east side, by the water.
nice. What are you down for?
I'm in prison for the murder of Daniel Chantha, the murder of Saquon Fan, the attempted murder of Shannon Cole, and the murder of Woody Bunthon. Those are people I shot and killed, and I attempted to kill somebody else.
Wow. So he got right to it. That was a loaded question, I guess, that she asked him, what are you here for? And he took full accountability for his crimes, it sounds like. I mean, he listed off. That's something that I don't normally see, especially in these types of interviews where the offender actually says the names of his victims. So, that's pretty commendable in my book. It doesn't take away the heinousness of the crimes that were committed, but that's commendable.
The eve of Thanksgiving in 2003.
Can you walk us through that day?
Actually, that was it was so long ago, and my life was like a chaotic mess at that time. And so that day, it's the day of the first shooting, it was just total chaos. Like, my life was a mess. And it's just a bunch of traumatic events that was going on in my life at that time. I was always felt like I was in the threat of danger because of what I was told since I was a kid.
Fellas, does that sound familiar to any of you? Let me know in the comment section. Is this a pattern? Is this something that you guys identify with? Is this something that you may have experienced in your own household?
And so I went there with the intentions. I went to his house on Thanksgiving in the early morning hours with the intentions of just with a friend to try to see about some money that he owed one of my friends, and I ended up shooting that person after he pulled a gun on me. And I shot him in front of his family, and it was like, I think about that every holiday. I think about, if that was to happen to one of my family members, and how traumatic that would be, like reliving that every holiday, that's not something that you want to have to deal with.
That's a fact. A lot of times when we go out here and spin the block, when we go out here and try to put points on the scoreboard and do the things that we do, we don't think about who we're going to be in the future, and we damn sure don't think about how it affects the families and the innocent civilians associated with our victims, and we damn sure don't think about how that's going to resonate inside of us along the way through life and how we're going to have to live with that.
Every holiday when that's something about, the importance of family.
Yeah.
And, the other shootings I committed.
Tell me about your mindset during that time. Who was Rue then?
I was a mess. I was being the person that I was told that I was gonna be when I was a kid.
Which was what?
And I was told, like, I was, for lack of a better term, like I was mind fucked, like as a kid, like through, toxic upbringing. It was toxic femininity
Tell me about that.
in my home. Like, so I was raised in the matriarchy, and like with my aunt, with my father's sister being, the start and the ending.
So you have like a structure, a patriarch and a matriarch, and the patriarch is male, and the matriarch is the female entity. Those would be the head of the structure. So in this case, it was a matriarchy, as he said, and in which case a female would be at the top of that structure. And to take it even a step further, let me know in the chat, I mean, how you guys feel. Did he seem to embrace the things, the stereotypes, the statistics that are associated with black men? And did he, subconsciously embrace that and ultimately become what he was told he would be according to that statistic in elementary school? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys think that?
Of a lot of things. And my mother was, she was depressed. She was a workaholic. And it was just, we was in the church. And so we had church in the home. Like, I grew up in the church. I used to always think, until, the learning about my traumas, I always thought I had a happy childhood, because I normalized, being beaten, and, just, we was get whoopings a lot. And so, like, I was introduced to violence through, whoopings early, and was taught to accept that. And don't let anybody do anything to you because of how they was raised, and the hurt, nobody had any fathers. And so it was just women that never really healed from their traumas.
Yeah.
And
don't let anybody do anything to you ever. Raised in the church, received beatings, some of these things contradict themselves.
Especially black women. Like, I love the hell out of black women. Like, nobody can love you like them, but when they're hurt, nobody can hurt you like them. Like, they are the backbone of, everything we do. And so when they not right, like, they raised us. Like,
right.
Girl children, boy children, and, they transferred a lot of stuff onto us. And so I was told since I was little, I could remember maybe about 10, 11 years old, that I was gonna die in the streets. I was told that I was gonna go to jail, like, and
Right.
these things were, I don't even know where they started coming from. But
None of
I
us
wasn't
do.
hanging out. I was interested in school. I was a good kid. I was in, like, gifted magnet programs. We was doing a stock exchange between, competitions between our school and other schools in our classroom. Yeah. And I don't know where that stuff started coming from, but I had church people praying over me, but they was telling me that this is what I was gonna be. Like, I was like my father. I was gonna go to jail. I was gonna, die in the streets.
Wow.
Before I was even 18. And so I started.
He's being told this at church.
Started believing the things that I was told.
Right.
And
exactly.
I started doing, like, manifesting.
Right.
Bringing the things towards me that I was told that was gonna happen to me. And I started, being disinterested in school and everything else that I had a passion for. And I ended up bringing towards me the things that I was told I was gonna be.
What do you guys think about that in the chat, man? Let me know. Is that something that's possible? Can we manifest negativity? Can we manifest ultimately our destinies by, allowing the things, the negative things that we're told that we're going to be or become to become true.
And so I did a lot of things out of like fear and out of, when you're young, you think you're invincible. I had no sense of time.
How old were you?
At that time, I was about 12, 13. And I started running away from home because I was done with being whooped. And I started running away at that age because it wasn't gonna keep happening to me. And so I stayed gone for months at a time.
Months at a time?
Yeah. And
go where?
I had a friend around the corner his parents was on drugs. And so they didn't really care, they wasn't really interested about who was at the house. And they loved me, they was cool, but I really seen that my house probably wasn't as bad. My parents wasn't on drugs,
Right.
but you don't know anybody's life until you actually are inside their house and see how they live. But
So
that's where I started running away to.
You talk a lot about getting hit and getting whooped. Like, what was that like for you? What was that sensation that you had? Like, how did it affect you as a child?
How it affected me as a child, like, it didn't agree with my soul. Like, something in my soul was telling me that this is not right. Like, this has to stop. Like, and everything in me rebelled against it.
Right.
But with, the power structures, like, you can't run, you can't, like, you have to sit here and accept this whooping.
Yeah.
And then with the religion, I was beat, and I was made to, cite Bible scriptures.
So part of his punishment, it sounds like, whenever he was being punished, he would be what he considers beaten, by the people he loves, the women, and that the religion justifies those beatings.
Yeah, it's almost like it's just confusing to have like this church life, God
Right.
life, and then on the other side, it's like whipping and
Right.
it's controversial, right?
Right,
Contradicting.
it's how
Yeah,
we grow
it
up in
is.
our communities because it's something that's passed down.
Yeah,
And so that's how,
generational trauma.
And that's how they resolve issues like.
Yeah, through violence.
Through violence.
So at 12 and
Women-
13, when you ran away, is this when things started to, you went down the other path?
Okay, so when I was 12, like that's when I actually got used to the streets, and like, fortunately, I grew up in an era where kids played outside.
The best.
And we was outside all day.
Best.
And you either stayed in the house or you stayed outside. It wasn't no running in and out the house.
Facts.
And so I was outside a lot. And
Me
so
too.
when I started, when I finally realized I was done with being whooped, like for just simple things as getting in trouble, like, just being a kid, I'm not gonna get beat anymore. So I just stopped coming home. And like, that's when I really got like used to the social structures of the streets and being out there. And that's when I, started being involved with older kids. And,
Right,
older kids do things that younger kids we shouldn't be around doing with them. Like, just running out the liquor stores with candy and stealing. And it goes from that to somebody actually robbing the store and you being there with them. And, so that's how I got used to being in the streets. And then the streets is brutal.
That's a fact. The streets are brutal. And so, I think that this story resonates with a lot of young men because, in particular, you'll be able to see yourself in his story in at least one of these categories, or maybe numerous, and so it leads me to question, what causes this? What, if this is such a phenomenon, if this is such a huge, almost predictable statistic, how can we prevent it? How can we stop it?
Like growing up in the hood. And so like their danger is dangerous outside and there's nobody there to protect you. So I really felt the lessons that my, auntie and my mother taught me when I was a kid, like don't never let anybody do anything to you. Don't let nothing happen to you out here. An interesting story, I actually, my auntie found me one time in the streets after I had ran away. And when I seen her coming I was in the park, and when I seen her coming, like she saw that look in my eye, and she was like, "You better not run." and because I was gonna get out of there. And she sat me down and she had a talk with me like I see your clothes are clean, like you got creases in your pants, like you living under somebody's roof. And so you leaving home because you don't want no discipline.
Right.
Like, cause that's, the whoopings, that's what they call discipline. Like you leaving home because you don't want no discipline, but
Right.
being out there in the streets, you living under somebody's roof, and you're gonna have to accept that. And these people out here on the streets, like they don't love you, whoever you with, whoever you hanging out with, they don't love you like your family love you.
It's true.
And so we discipline you because we love you.
Right.
But when they put their hands on you, they gonna hurt you. And because they don't care about you. And so you better not ever let me or anybody else hear about what you let somebody do to you.
So he alluded earlier to his opinion that he had been mind fucked along the way when he was being raised. The mindset that the women are teaching him through what they refer to as discipline, to never allow anybody to do anything to you, to take anything from you. Now, in the opening seconds of this segment, he talked about what led him to prison, why he's doing life in the California state prison system. And that is because he went to see about some money that someone had allegedly taken from his friend. So now you guys can kind of see how the mindset that he was taught along the way, never to let anyone take anything from you, never be a victim. And this was backed up through religion and what was referred to as discipline, hands-on, corporal punishment. And I'm not saying that he is not responsible. I'm just here to ask the question. And, shout out to this young man for being able to sit down and have this interview. It goes on even deeper into more depth. Again, that's over there on the Between the Lines podcast. Shout out to them for the content. And my name is Pax, and I'm just here to spread these facts. Till next time, man, you guys go out and do something positive. Shake a hand, meet a friend, do something inspirational, or be inspired. I'm out of here.